Hey, it's me, Jimmy D, and welcome back to the Scooby-Doo and Guess Who Season 2 episode. I'm here with Aly. Before we jump into the Christian Slater episode, I just want to say I've covered the whole show. I'm going to cover a lot more shows, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, Aly, what did you think of the Christian Slater episode?
Okay, so if I didn't Google half of the things, this would have made 0 sense on what was happening. Um,
Entirely.
I had to explain a lot to you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
and
basically, the plot of this episode was a Scooby-Doo parody of
Heather's the musical.
of the musical Christian Slater is in.
Yes. So if you guys don't know who Christian Slater is, he was a big actor in the 80s. And then he made his really huge debut on Broadway in Heather's the Musical as the villain.
Yes.
Who, from my understanding, he was in love with a girl. I think they broke up or something, and he planned on committing mass murder and suicide at the school prom. So they based everything around the musical itself. But if you didn't know that, this would have made 0 sense.
And there's also one thing that bugs me, and I mentioned it to Aly. There's the red herring song in here.
Oh yeah, the red herring song.
Velma calls these guys the red herring / and then the suspects. Red herrings are characters written in stories to make it seem like they're the antagonist or the bad guy, but it's just a fake one in disguise to hide the real one. Now, a pup named Scooby-Doo did this 100% right when Fred's enemy, arch nemesis, was Red Herring, and Fred always accused him every episode of being the culprit of the mystery, ultimately to find out it was someone else. So, for me knowing that, my English background, and knowing a pup named Scooby-Doo, when they started calling these people red herrings, I'm like, well, okay, so they're not it. So it's Christian Slater. Like, instantly.
Yeah, and then for me, I just knew that Christian Slater, he played the villain who...
In the play, so...
Yeah, so you know it was him, but if you don't have that knowledge, you're not going to understand anything that this episode did.
And the musical numbers is really going to throw you for a loop. Because you're going to be like, am I watching Scooby-Doo? Like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as we started doing Broadway, I was like, hold on. You need to pause the video. I'm doing some research real quick.
At first, I thought the opening number was just because Scooby-Doo had an anniversary this past year, and that it was to honor that. But
clearly, no.
because they had references to all the past ghosts, so that's what I thought it was going to be. But no,
No.
I'm baffled by this episode.
I mean, we've seen a lot worse.
Yes, hands down. There's been a lot worse episodes.
It's just, I feel like if you are watching this and you don't have that knowledge, these references are going to go right over your head.
And the fact that they are parroting a Broadway play that is about a mass... just a mass killing.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really about a mass killing, but towards the end, yeah.
But towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little fucked.
That's messed up for a kid show.
That's very messed up. Very messed up indeed. However, they did change the ending, so like
Oh
he
yes.
got the girl in the end. Whereas in Heather's, I'm pretty sure he actually did kill himself. But I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually seen Heather's the musical. It's
Yeah.
one that it's on my bucket list, but it's one that I haven't seen.
Just with Christian Slater, I thought it was going to be an '80s throwback episode.
I think they would have done a lot better if they did an 80s throwback episode. Maybe they thought that, kids would know Broadway more and that this would be more relatable than doing an 80s reference. Maybe. But if that's the case, then don't use him as a guest.
Yeah. Because I'm just confused. What would you rate this episode?
I mean, honestly, for an episode, I'd give it a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Because it's not bad. It really isn't.
No, and honestly, the musical numbers and all, like, while they were weird, it still
it
made sense, and it was different.
And they definitely did incorporate Christian Slater pretty well.
Yes.
I wish they explained a little bit more on who he was and why they were in Broadway.
Yes.
And that they explained the reason behind it, but they didn't.
Also, like, why did Christian Slater pull the Mystery Inc. gang into his thing anyway?
Yeah, like...
Because he attacked them in the Mystery Machine.
It didn't make a lot of sense. But, I mean, for a Scooby-Doo episode, if you take all that away, like all the criticisms of it, it's really not that bad.
No, definitely not. Like we rated it, it's an average episode. But we would love to know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Me and Aly stream on Twitch Tuesday through Saturday, and we have an awesome Discord. Both of those links are in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and like always, I will see you in the next one. Later.